Hello.
I forgot you had a hat on.
Leave my hat alone. Welcome to Beyond the Shadowz podcast, hosted by Haunted Soulz Paranormal. I'm Dan.
I'm Madison.
It is November 7th, episode 34. What is so funny? Whatever.
Today, or this week's winner, first, Kenny Brown. Kenny Brown.
What's up, Kenny?
We got Kathy in here.
What's up, sis?
Manla Chandler.
What's up, Amanda?
Amelita said, I was first, Kenny. You got a comment first.
Yeah, just to get, we don't know you're in the room.
Kathy said, let's go Blues. And Amelita said, what's with the hat?
What's wrong with my hat, man? Leave my hat alone. It's actually a really cool hat.
Weather. It's been a little warm.
It is warm.
The past 2 days. And it's supposed to reach up to 82? And then
82
jump
tomorrow and then back down.
to 50 something.
Yeah.
But Jeannie's in here.
What's up, Jeannie?
Hello.
Jeannie. I brought you up last night on a different podcast, Jeannie.
Oh yeah. With
Replicon Radio.
Yep. They were talking about
Won some cups, man.
cups, yeah. And then Susan's in here.
Susan. Hello.
This week's episode, we're going to talk about our past
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Craziness.
Just little updates, and then about our coming up weekend.
Yeah, I got a big announcement at the where we'll be at this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a impromptu type thing, and
Jimmy said, "Don't be talking bad about me."
we weren't talking bad about you.
All good things.
Trying to get you business. So yeah, just I mean, what was the last time we were on here? Was what, the 26th? Yeah, something like that. October 26th. Yeah, there's a lot happened. Halloween.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of investigations.
Yeah.
And stuff. And that. So we'll kick it off.
Convention.
Yeah, we had a convention.
Yeah.
Maddie got to go to a new place.
I did.
Well, so
my dream place.
I guess we'll start off by saying that the Halloween weekend, we were supposed to be at KC Metaphysical Fair that weekend.
The weekend before Halloween, yeah.
And we took and I hit the buttons on that.
It didn't do anything.
Screen when it went black. Yeah, so we had Metaphysical Fair.
Yeah.
And then Friday night I was at the St. Louis Haunted Mansion. They had a paranormal open house type thing.
Yeah.
So I was there doing some she wanted me to hang out there, which ended up being pretty cool. Thing doing anyways.
Well, you want to talk about what you did Thursday night at the Haunted Mansion? The Haunted Mansion's new addition to the building?
Oh, well, I was going to bring that up
Oh.
in the investigation. I was going to bring that up in the Friday night. I don't remember.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the banister.
Oh, yeah, we did put a banister up. Built a wall. Put a banister. Well, actually, my brother and his company did. Thank you very much. It was funny, too, because he's never going to be on here, but she'll never see it. But he was standing on the stairs, staining the top ledge of the wall where the banister is that we put up that goes in the basement. And he was like, who's still here? Because they were already here.
Mm-hmm.
They were there earlier setting up because she had the film crew coming on a Friday.
Yeah.
The film, if you've seen any of our Facebook posts, that Channel 5 came in and filmed her building for Halloween, this haunted places in St. Louis or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were cleaning up and doing some arranging and stuff. And so we were there putting up the wall, and they had left. Everybody had left, and my brother Tony was like, who's still here? I'm like, nobody. We're all just us. And he's like, no, there's somebody downstairs. I heard somebody downstairs. I'm like, you're in a haunted building. You know, we're shooting studs into the floor. They're probably upset with all the loud noise, like gunshots.
I remember you were like, should I tell them?
He knows. It says St. Louis Haunted Mansion.
Well, he's a little blind, so
I mean, you know.
You never know.
So that kind of was funny that, it's a ghost. There's probably down there talking.
Probably someone died there. I could see him being all angry.
Yeah. But then, so Friday, we wouldn't set up at the convention.
Yes.
And then, and I went over to the St. Louis Haunted Mansion just to do some exploring because, so she's in the basement of the mansion. If you ever seen, I've been there. In one corner of the mansion, it kind of goes into a corner, but then it's a triangle, but
it's like a square corner.
Yeah, it's square. It's really weird how it's that. Yeah. So I thought in my head, let's try to do some stuff. So we kind of built a car crash down there.
We call it the car crash.
We call it the car crash. So she has this mirror that's been passed down. That's been predated to the Civil War, before the Civil War, and it's like over 150 years old. And it's just been passed down. And her grandmother's like, "Hey, this lady didn't want it no more. It's been in her family heirloom and everything. She just thinks the lady in the mirror is weird." And her grandson. She said her grandson don't like to sleep in the room unless the lady in the room leaves or whatever. And he would say that this lady's in the mirror. So they gave it to Nicole. Nicole was playing with it one time. Her and her friends were doing like a little seance, and she looked into the mirror or something, and she had thought got done looking, and it was like, oh, it was like 2 minutes or whatever.
She's like, wow, okay, 2 minutes.
Yeah, she goes, oh, it was like 2 minutes, and it ended up being like 30 or 40 minutes she was staring into it. So it's a little. Okay. So I took that mirror. She's like, you can take that mirror. So we set that up in the first of the wall, and then we took 4 other mirrors and set them on the sides of the mirror. So when you sit down in this thing, you're covered. You're surrounded by mirrors.
And the weird part is she never bought any of these mirrors.
Yeah, they just appeared.
Ever since the first time we went there, I remember her sitting there. She's like, and all the mirrors were sitting upstairs. Yeah. And she's giving us a tour. She's like, oh, all those mirrors people just dropped off. I'm like, is it the same person? Or
yeah, I don't know why.
She's also got the big, huge, for fashion, for what's it called? Like fashion students, like how they have those mannequins that are like, to pin the clothes on. Oh, yeah,
the full body mannequin.
Yeah, she has that just got dropped off. The haunted, traveling trunk.
Yeah, they just drop stuff off to her, thinking that, hey, you got a haunted building here. You might want this. It's more of a storage thing for her, I think.
Yeah.
But she had these mirrors. We set them up. I made this cool skull styrofoam thing out of a lamp, and it's got a red bulb on it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. There's some pictures, I think, on Facebook of it, or on our TikTok.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's on our TikTok. There's some pages of it, but she calls it the car crash, so we decided to call it the car crash. So I went up there Friday night to test it out some to see, and everything. And then Lauren and Gina from Witches Familiar showed up, and
hi Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
Hi Pam.
Hey Pam. We have missed you, Pam.
We missed you, Pam.
Pam smashed you. Did you see the finger pictures? How's your finger doing, Pam?
Oh yeah, I saw those.
She smashed her finger in the door.
It hurts my hands.
I know. So
Witches Familiar.
Yeah, Witches Familiar showed up when we were just hanging out, doing some investigating and stuff, and we went down there and did some stuff. And I sat in it for a while, and nothing really. Oh no, I saw the shadows on the wall.
So you said no.
So Lauren, I was sitting in there. Lauren was standing behind the lamp. So she couldn't cast a shadow into that little hall thing. And when I was staring, I could see shadows moving on the walls and stuff. And then at one point we were standing there and I was looking in the mirror and she was standing. I can't say she. Something was standing next to me. Look, I assumed it was her.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, and I turned her way and she wasn't there and she was in the other room. And I was like, dude, I swear when I looked in the mirror, there was somebody standing next to me. And I just assumed it was Lauren.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't. There was nobody there. And Lauren got dizzy. She said she don't like it. She She said it got dizzy and stuff like that.
I don't blame her. Because when did we first do it? Saturday. That's when I first did it.
So Friday was there. I did that Friday. Had some little business meeting on Friday. Had a huge surprise for Madison that I worked out on Friday night that she didn't know about.
The best surprise as a paranormal investigator I could get.
Right. So I had taken, and we went the next morning. We went to KC Metaphysical. Yes. We spent Saturday day at KC Metaphysical. We had our first lecture type guest speaker,
which we were both shocked.
Yeah,
people were waiting to hear us.
Yeah, there was we walked in the room. There was 25 people.
Yeah, we're like,
I was like, okay. I was expecting maybe 5 or so.
Let's just say the person that doesn't have social anxiety was nervous, and I'm like, I have social anxiety. And I'm literally.
It was kind of cool. It was good. It was good. I mean, it was. Once again, like I tell you guys every week that, there's right now, 12 people on watching us?
Yeah.
That you guys watch every week to come watch us talk and stuff. And it was just weird that 25 people wanted to hear us talk about paranormal 101.
We don't understand it, but I guess, hey. I mean, that's what I used to listen to all the time. And
then JD and his wife, I'll say, because, JD, we met this guy. We met JD and his wife, and apparently his wife had looked for us and saw us
before the metaphysical.
Then saying that we were going to be there and then speaking. So they were like, "Oh, we definitely got to go and see them," and everything.
They were the ones that went to the bathroom like, wait, don't start. We wanted to listen to you. Yeah. We're like, oh, okay.
There was a little girl there that wanted to hear us.
She made her mom stay.
Yeah,
to hear
us
talk.
There was Heidi was there, of course, just for support.
Yeah.
And there was other people there. Get kind of a little uncomfortable when that one couple got up and walked out.
They were older. Yeah, they were older. I don't think they realized.
I don't know if it was that or if they had something to do or, whatever. Yeah. It was like, they just got up and left. I was like, man, did I say something wrong?
Yeah.
Were I not interesting in
It's kind of the same thing of when older, I'm talking the old ladies, at Witches Night Out. They come up, they're like, oh, what do? Are you guys tours? We're like, no, we're paranormal investigators. And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's definitely more of a newer generation type of.
Well, our demographic, 80% of our demographic is women from the ages of 35 to 60.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and it's like anything over 60, they're just not into that whole paranormal.
Yeah.
Thing. Some are. I'm not saying that they all are, because I ain't gonna say no names on here, but.
She said, "Miss you guys too. Fingers fine."
Well, that's good. And her granddaughter's birthday was today too, so happy birthday!
Happy birthday to your granddaughter.
Oh, and I want to say, since we won't be on her,
yeah, I did.
I want to wish Amelita a happy birthday. Thursday is her birthday. We won't be here until next week, so I'd rather do it before than last. So,
yes.
Happy birthday, sis. So, I'll see you tomorrow. But, so Saturday, did you get your reading Saturday?
Yeah, I did, because I wasn't there Sunday.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there Sunday.
So, I got my reading we'll finish our talk. We met JD and his wife.
Oh, yeah. I met JD and his wife.
We did our talk, which is just our normal spiel, that we always do. And then if you've ever been to one of our investigations, just kind of the small things that we always talk about our investigations.
Yeah, just the
equipment that you can buy. We've talked on here before, some people ask, hey, what's good equipment to start off with? Mag light, cap ball, something that's really cheap, but works good. So that's what we just kind of, talked about and everything like that.
It was good.
Stacy!
Hey!
Hello!
I hope you're doing good. And
yes, sending love.
Yes, sending prayers of love.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was just kind of our whole little spiel. And then we got done. I'd say we did 45 minutes.
That was that was about an hour.
Is it about an hour? That went by so fast.
It was an hour. And then everybody wants to come up, meet you, and talk to you. And stuff like
so
that.
Then we had left. You went to the table, and I had my reading with Heidi right after. That was cool. I loved it, and it was really cool because we did the first row of paranormal, which was really cool because I don't think as a paranormal investigator a lot of people do the paranormal world for their readings, so that was really different and cool, and there was a lot of cool stuff. She was talking about how I'm going to be more of the authoritative figure in the paranormal.
It's trying to tell me not to wear my hat.
That's the authoritative figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then we did kind of shadow cards, more like to better understanding the meaning of the cards, and then we did more of like my life. So that was really cool to see. And Heidi said,
You talk about. I'm gonna go grab some real quick.
Heidi said that my paranormal sensitivity abilities is gonna be pretty and heightened soon. So I'm a little scared, but I'm also excited because, I thought, why not go see Heidi and let her see what she can say about my life? So that was pretty cool. And then I saw a lady who did henna, which it's already starting to wear off just because my nails are missing. But I had fake blood on for Halloween, so I had to scrub it off my hand, and some of the henna already started coming off. But the lady she did beautiful henna and everything, so I got that and Heidi's reading done, and Pam said, "Go Madison, LO," and Brayden said, "The hat should stay."
Thank you, Brain. See,
He's got his supporters. I support my
there's
dad.
a lot of people that like the hat. Your mom liked the hat. I've always wanted
It's
a
better
hat.
than some of the hats that
I've always wanted a bowler hat, and actually like fits my head, and it's really nice. It's firm.
Is that gonna be like the heightness of fix that ear? Is it gonna be?
You don't like my ears stick out.
No, sometimes when it's because his ears are really tall that his ears squish down.
It's gonna give me complex.
Pam said, "I love the hat."
Thank you, Pam. It's gonna be my new investigating hat.
So yeah, so I got my reading.
I'm gonna get one of those things.
Is that gonna be the height of the one that the ladies
Yes.
doing? Okay, that's not a bad height.
Maybe I should just send it to her and just let her do that stuff on it.
Why not? I mean, instead of buying a whole nother hat.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So I got done with Heidi, and then I had walked over to the table, and you had said you're never gonna guess what. I said what?
You talking about JD?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything, but
no.
I met JD and
really
his
cool.
wife. They said they loved our energy, and they just got a positive vibe from us. That he said that they do documentaries, and they're in marketing, and they did a documentary on the limp, but they did not the paranormal. They did a history and the political and all that stuff. Nothing to do with
more of like
the hauntings and stuff like that. So he said that we were talking, and he said that they sold that one. Him and his buddy split up and everything, and kind of left on that documentary wise. Mm-hmm. And that more of his documentaries he wanted to do was mystery, murder, paranormal type, scary.
It was their original plan going into the whole documentary.
So all I have to say is Friday we have a business meeting. So
don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It was just kind of cool that someone was like, "Hey," and it was like,
yeah.
Hey.
I mean, there could be that we could be working with them to do some documentaries. We could be working with them to do some marketing because they are marketing.
Yeah.
They told me a couple of hints there of how we could do some different marketing for the company. Yeah. And I was like, well, let me get a paper and write this down. And she's like, well, let me just show you. And I got a customer. Yeah. And she's like, well, why don't we just have a dinner and I can show you some things you could do and stuff like that. So yeah. Cross our fingers, there's a couple things going on.
Might be some new marketing stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll go forward with that. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
Then we had, so the little girl that wanted to watch us, I guess her mom was a witch. I don't know if she was.
Yeah, she said she was a witch.
Cape.
Yeah.
And the little girl was probably about 7 or 8, maybe.
She came around to our booth twice before the conference. And then she went in to hear us speak, and then her mom and her left. And then right after I came back, the mom and daughter came back with the brother and said, "You were the talk of the car."
Yeah, he said we were the talk of the car, and then she had to bring her brother back to meet us. And before that process happened, this little girl came up with her dad, and she was like, "Oh, I like this, I like that," and her dad was just like, "Well, we still got to go and stuff," and she had like a little lisp, and I think she was about 5 or 6. She was
so cute.
She was so damn cute.
Oh my gosh.
And she was just like, "Oh, I watch spooky stuff on YouTube and stuff like that." And I was like, "Well, you should check us out."
She was like,
and she was like,
she like looked at her
okay.
dad, and he was like, "Do you want to watch him tonight?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Aw."
And she was talking about, I'm like, "Well, we got on the topic of like imaginary friends because little kids, I believe their imaginary friends are spirits. They're not imaginary."
She said,
and she was like, no. She said she.
And we're like, okay. She's like, but I investigate.
She's like, but I know that my ancestors have come and visited me at times, and I'm like, "Oh, really? How's that?" And she's like, "Well, I investigate." And
I talk to them.
Yeah, and she's like, I was like, "So what do you do to investigate?" And just her little thing, she was like, "Well, I left a pen and the paper out, a notepad and a pen, so they could write notes if they wanted to." I'm just like, God, I love this little girl. She's like already on to like.
And she was going off and her dad. It was so funny. Is I bet you her dad hears it all the time, and then he was like, "Just tell them all." He was just standing back and just let her go.
So she was so cute.
Oh,
I was like, gosh. So I had her for. I'll tell you to explain this other thing that we did, but I had a box of equipment with me. So I reached over and I gave Maddie, "Give me a cat ball," and she gave me a cat ball, and I showed her what the cat ball was. She was like really excited that. She actually could I told her she could set it on her dresser, and if it moves or anything like that, then, and she was so excited. I gave her that and everything, and she just kept talking and just her little lisp. And
we're like, "You can have it." And she was like,
"Yeah,
thank you."
And then she was like, "Can I have a picture with you guys?"
And we're like, "Yeah."
And I was like, "Oh wow, Maddie's first photo op."
I know. It was she was such a cute
And at that moment in time, the other girl came up
with her brother,
and she wanted a picture.
Yeah, it was like
I never heard
back.
anything. Yeah, I told them. I said if they would have. Well, the one girl we autographed a sticker for her.
Yeah.
And gave it to her, and I told the dads and the mom they got her card. If they gave me their address or just got in contact with me, I would blow up the picture and autograph it for them.
Mail them off
and stuff. But I haven't heard nothing. So.
But yeah.
And then that's kind of good.
We literally packed up right after that, and we went up to her because we had to leave early for our investigation. Before
that, I've been going. This is like my third metaphysical fair, and I see these people there all the time, and I'm really going to kick myself in the butt because I don't have their card with me, and stuff. I will find their card and stuff. Sorry, but they do aura pictures at the convention. At the convention, they do. They'll take your picture of your aura and tell you what your aura is. And in Dodge City, they were like, "Hey, we really want to try to experiment." And I said, "Well, why don't we try it in St. Louis because it'll be easier for me to bring equipment." So they wanted to take a picture of me and my aura, a piece of some equipment before I went to an investigation, and then took the picture the next day to see if my aura had changed after an investigation and the equipment. So on Saturday before we left, I was like, "Oh, I got to go do this real quick, Madison." Well, I didn't see my picture. We had left. We had to leave in such a hurry. I didn't get to see my picture until Sunday morning when I went back to have the picture taken, the second picture taken in the morning. So when I had the first picture taken, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. It's going to be really hard to see. But in this picture here, oh, I got it upside down. Sorry. It's got a glare on it too. Yeah. But you can see the case kind of sitting on my lap and my feet and everything. There's a white spirit sitting in between my legs. So the whole aura thing is, that's got a glare on it. Sorry. Yeah, you're not gonna. Really but my whole aura is white. It's right all here. White. Yeah, it's all white. And then that white in the middle, you can see me sitting there, and then there's that white spot in the middle. They say it's like a spirit sitting with the thing. So they've never seen a white aura like that because it's on a dark blue background, and white's always so hard to come up on a dark color and stuff. So we took the picture the next day, and my aura is purple and everything.
Yeah. So instead of there's a little bit of the white little,
yeah, but everything else is
to
purple.
him is purple.
Yeah, if you see them both, one's white
and one's the purple.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So.
And they've never seen that your aura would change like that. It was really kind of cool. That experiment. They were really happy, and they're like, "We're gonna give you those pictures." And I sent them a bunch of business that day. I was like, "Oh, go check out our pictures over there. It's really kind of cool." And they would go over there and they would get them in and taking a picture of their aura and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of cool. That was cool. That experiment over the weekend.
Yeah.
But then we had our investigation Saturday night.
Yeah.
At the Haunted Mansion again. I was there again.
Felt like a very long day. It was a very long day, but it was fun. So we got the mansion. You went around and was doing video. I was setting up the snacks, and it was
JD. So JD,
yeah.
The first I forgot that JD said, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, if you guys got nothing planned, we're holding a ghost hunt tonight and everything." And JD said that was their first weekend they've had off without their kids in so long that it was kind of a short time for them to go to have plans and everything. And I said, "Hey, you only live right down the street," because he lives in the city there. I said, "Why don't you come by at 7:30? I'll show you around the building just to check out the building," because I didn't know there was a haunted place there. And so we went and got something to eat. Susan watched our table for an hour. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
While we did our lecture. Yeah, our honorary convention lady. She worked, so I had to buy her dinner because she worked. So the company had to, So we went to dinner. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Colton's in Collinsville.
It was okay.
It was all right. Yeah.
Their fries, beautiful. Their fries are good. You gotta admit, their steak fries, really good.
But we got to the mansion, and JD and his wife were there. Thank God Nicole was there because I had forgot my key to the mansion. That was going to be horrible. But Nicole actually was there, so it worked out. JD had brought his cameras, and they wanted me to walk around, and they filmed me doing a B-roll type of the building. And so I didn't know. It was funny because she was like really professional. I'm like, they were moving around and in and out, and she was zooming around and doing all kinds of. And I didn't know if I was supposed to be watching her, like following the camera, or just talking to JD at times. But they did all kinds of stuff. We went down in the basement, and then the mirrors were all up and everything. And I did a couple of like, I'm Dan from Haunted Soulz Paranormal at St. Louis Haunted Mansion and stuff in the red light and stuff. Yeah. And I did all kinds of different takes in there.
He came back up. He was like, that was really cool.
Yeah. I was like, I took like 3 different takes of saying different things. He's like, yeah, we're going to edit it and cut it all in and make you a big video. And you can show it. So that video will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe we'll get it this week and stuff. And then Nicole's going to use it for her.
Yeah.
Because I actually just took a tour of the whole building. So
yeah.
Which is kind of cool. That was really cool. And then we were like get together, and like I said, I don't hold my breath on things anymore. Like when people like, oh hey, we're going to do this, or hey, we're going to call you, for this kind of move.
Yeah.
We're going to get. I don't. Because so many people say things at conferences and stuff.
Yeah. That
I just don't hold my breath. And then meeting JD, and not saying that he was wrong or anything, but the next day he's like, well, I can't take it, the excitement so much.
He posted on Facebook. We're like,
he posted on his Facebook about meeting us and like future things, and I'm like, maybe legit, I'm like, and then he reached out yesterday and was like, hey, let's have a talk. Let's talk. We need to sit down and have some talks. And I was like, okay. He's like, let's do dinner. And so we set up a place, and hopefully Friday we'll have some good news. And
next podcast.
Next podcast. You have to watch to listen. Watch to listen. You have to listen. No, you just have to come.
You have to watch or listen. For all the people that are just listening, have to listen. Sure. People that watch and listen.
Yeah, we had a decent turnout at. Actually, it was funny. It was like almost everybody that was there was from Witches Night Out.
Yeah.
From the Witches Night Out event that we had.
Yeah.
So, like all the guests at the St. Louis Mansion that night was. Yeah. It was kind of nice.
We had some returning.
Yeah. Some new ones, and some I guess some really new customers that are going to stick with us now, and everything. We were like,
it's so funny because one of the ladies that were there, she knew you from the previous company. We were at Witches Night Out, and she's like,
she had came to Ashmore. She was one when the company I used to work before decided to close their doors and screw people out of tickets, we had posted a thing saying
if you had tickets,
you know, and I met this lady we actually met them at Strawberry Festival.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the other lady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Strawberry Festival, I met the lady, and she came to Ashmore.
Yes, and then she came.
Well, she was supposed
her
to
and her husband.
Yeah, she was supposed to come to the St. Louis event we had, and I canceled that Saturday because it was just those two.
Yeah.
So I told her she could have another night, and I said, she's like, "What are you going to do, the mansion again?" I said, October 28th. So she came to that.
Her and her husband, and then they brought two new people.
Yeah, two new people.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And then we met these two wonderful women who were from the Witches Night Out, and you were talking to somebody else, and I went up there, and I was talking to them, and they're like, "Your dad looks really familiar," and I was like, he used to work for a different paranormal company, and then I was like, "Oh, GHU," and they're like, "We saw him in Missouri State Penitentiary." I was like, "Oh." I was like, okay, and they're like, "Are you?" And we're like, "Oh, we're doing a St. Louis event because we are promoting our metaphysical fair and event." And they were like, "We'll be there." And I was like, "Okay." And then they bought a ticket and everything. I was like, "Well," and then they came in. They're like, "We didn't know it was here." And the lady lives 2 blocks down. She was like, "I had no idea it was here."
Yeah, she never knew it was haunted. She just thought that was just a name.
But and then they brought 2 people as well.
Yeah.
So and then there was another woman there.
She was all by herself. Yeah. Very weird. I just always think weird when people just show up by themselves.
But I mean, hey, if you're not scared.
I know, but it's just weird that you just show up. And she just walked. I mean, every time I saw her, she was moving to another floor.
Yeah.
Man, she was all over that building.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good activity that night.
Yeah.
We had the Estes in the other room was really good. When we said, "Where are we at?" and she said, "Mansion."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just said, "Can I speak to the mob boss?" And she was like, "I told you no already," because I kept asking the question and stuff.
Yeah.
We had some really cool Estes on that one.
And then speaking of upstairs, so you said earlier how Lauren was you thought Lauren was standing next to you. So we're moving down to take a break. We're going down the steps, and right before my dad walks in to the back room where the back gambling used to be, and I'm standing there, and he walks right past me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm waiting for Lauren. She's in there." And he's like, "No, Lauren already walked down the steps." I swore Lauren was behind you. I knew someone was behind you. I figured it was Lauren. So I don't know if something was like, not doppelganger, but like imitating her shadow, or if it was just a dark shadow. But I swear there was Lauren behind you. And that's why I sat there and I was waiting. And I was like, "You're like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm waiting for Lauren." And then we were both like, "Lauren?" And she was all the way downstairs. I was like, so the fact that it happened twice, I was like, okay.
Well, that night before, I forgot to say the night before in that room when I was sitting there, Lauren has gone down because Gina showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And she told the spirit, she was like, "Don't do anything until I get back." And I'm sitting in the chair looking out that room,
mm-hmm.
and I see plain as day the shadow, like somebody walked in the back room. Like, plain as day, I seen it on the wall walk. And I was like, I was just looking like, and I was like, I turned the SB7 up real loud and put it to my ear. I was like, listen to it.
You should have just done my method. Just talk. Just talk to yourself. That's what I do. When I'm scared, I just start talking to myself. But that's the thing is, like, I still think it's the car crash because we've investigated there before and we've never seen, like, shadow. Like, we see things in the corner of our eye, but, like, physically seeing shadows, like, standing behind you, someone standing next to you, you've seen that shadow on the wall.
It's definitely a car crash.
It's definitely a car crash. Like, we're starting to see more shadow people there.
I think I might have caused some chaos
well,
in the building.
So
well, they say that it's a vortex. If you put mirrors and get facing each other, you open up.
It's an infinity of mirrors, almost. Is what they like. Yeah.
So we and Maddie went and played with it Saturday night. I
was in front of the mirrors, and it felt like my spine was just getting like, my body ached so bad. It felt like someone was standing there on my shoulders and just pressing my spine. I was like, my back hurts so bad. And we were in a chair. It wasn't like I was sitting on the floor and I was like hunched over. And then, was that the night? No, that was Monday night that I saw the. But yeah. And
then I sat in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, and like from this part down, I couldn't see, and from this part up, it looked like my skin had been pulled off my face, and it was just a skull. Like my eyes here, like all around, were black and everything. And I was like staring, and I was like, kind of came to full image of like a skull, and I blinked my eyes to like refocus. And when I blinked my eyes, I swear to God, when I looked, my reflection in the mirror was turned looking at another mirror on the side. And I blinked again, and my face was straight, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. I got up and I got out of the mirrors. I was like, and I know for a fact, I swear, when I blinked and looked, my reflection was looking at another mirror. And I was just like, I blinked again, and I was like, nope. I got up and I was like, I'm done.
And that's when I walked over there and did it.
Yeah. And then we left them that way. I left them like that for 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
4 nights in a row.
4 nights in a row. And then we went upstairs and we just hung out for the rest of the night upstairs. Which, when we were upstairs, we were if you've ever been in the mansion, or if you've ever seen our videos or walked through the mansion, when you first walk in the doors, there's like a little sitting area and there's like desks kind of lined up, and that's where they all sit when they're doing events or anything. And we were kind of sitting there just relaxing, and me and Lauren we're hearing people downstairs, and we're like, oh, is there people downstairs? And it's pitch black, and there's no flashlights. There's no one downstairs, and we heard walking and shuffling at the bottom of the steps. And then the people had went down there, and me and Lauren both, we were sitting there, and also we heard like walking, and it's like concrete steps. So like there's a couple like little, like you can hear when someone's like shuffling up the steps because it's all that little gravel. And it was like, and I was like, oh, and I kind of like just peeked back to see like, oh, who needed help or whatever. No one. It sounded like someone was walking up the steps and there was no one there. I was like, I've heard creaks and footsteps in that place, but not that. It was a car crash. It definitely brought up some energy. And I don't know how many times when we got there, she wouldn't go down the steps by herself.
Nicole
went down to go to the basement by herself.
Ever since she got pushed, she won't go to the basement by herself.
Yeah. She was like, can someone go down there with me? And I was like, I'll go down there
with
you.
I was like, last Saturday night, I'm like, do you want me to go downstairs and shut the lights off with you? She's like, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely brought some energy. And then we left that night. We left a couple of our stuff there, too, because we knew we had to come back.
Yeah, because Monday night was the Devil's Night Out Halloween thing with Replicon Radio. Sunday was okay. Maddie didn't go.
I didn't go.
Sunday went pretty good. It just seemed like it's very long that day, it seemed. I probably was because I was tired.
Yeah.
I met a lady. She beelined to me from the door. She's like, man, your energy just drawed me to you. I was like, okay. And she's like, do you guys do like home investigations? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I got like 3 haunted buildings. My work, my house, and another building. And we were talking about it
all the time.
And we were talking, she owns an antique store. So like a consignment type thing, I guess. I'm not sure. But I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, I can imagine that every antique store is probably haunted. Things attach itself to it, yeah, and stuff. But she had told a story about her husband bought this pew and brung it. Like, he's like, just pick it up. It's going to come to the shop. The guy's going to pick it up tomorrow and stuff. And she had put it in her office. And her office had glass door on it. And then she put that frosting kind of stuff on it. Mm-hmm. And she had said that later that night, about 3 a.m, the police had called her and her alarm system had gone off. That her alarm had gone off and it was the window breaking. And she's like, oh shit, somebody was trying to break in. And she showed up, or the cops the cops had called her and said, "Don't worry about coming in. There's nobody, no windows are broken." And she's like, "Well, yeah, it has to be something was called, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Man, we literally checked the perimeter. There's no windows. Nothing's broke. No one's broke into your thing."
Mm-hmm.
So she said the next day she showed up, and in her office, she has a glass door, and it was spider web. The pew was in her office, and she said there was a spot like this big, like someone took their head and went smash into the window, and it was from the inside of the office out, not out into the in thing. And it was really weird. I got goosebumps.
I got goosebumps.
It was just weird that she told the story and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I could investigate it, sure. And of course, she lives in a funeral parlor. Why she thinks her house is on it. Her husband is like the guy that does the embalming and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The
mortician.
The mortician and stuff. So they live in, of course, yeah, you know. So she's supposed to contact me and stuff, but she had stepped away for a second, and her friend was with her, and she was like, "Oh my God," she's like, "She must like your energy or like you, because she's never tells anybody about her spirits or anything at this place." But that kind of freaked me out, though. I mean, not freaked me out, but it's kind of cool that it broke from the inside. So something was inside that was attached to that pew.
Enough to set the alarm off?
Well, the alarm was set up because the glass break. It's all set up. So if the glass breaks, the alarm goes off. So she knows that somebody's breaking into the office or something like that. But it didn't fall out because she had put that frosting on the window. So it held it all together. She said it was just spider web and stuff. She said, she set the pew out on the front and told the guy that it was sitting out there, that if you wanted to come get it.
I'll put it right back. No, that thing's not even going out in the front of my building.
Yeah.
No.
So
speaking of people that work at funeral parlors, there's a girl, and I heard her talking about it in my human growth and development class. She works at a funeral home, and she does the makeup. Yeah. And then she watches the embalming. And I'm like, "You're my age and you're doing that?" I'm like, "What?"
Hey, you get a job if you're good at makeup. If you make the dead look like the living.
Hey, that's a piece of work.
So yeah, Sunday was like that. I just met her. It wasn't up. The Chiefs lost. It was a kind of bummer day.
You had flipped our.
Yeah. So if you all know the TV I take that shows our
videos,
our slides,
podcasts,
our videos, our podcast. Yeah. I set and switched it around on Sunday to watch the Chiefs game. I don't miss the Chiefs. Sorry.
No.
They lost. It was a bad day. It's the day they lost against Denver, but it's all right. Can't win them all. But yeah, that was pretty much it for Sunday. I was ready to go home and crash.
Yeah.
I was so damn tired and stuff. But I did. I got my cards. Heidi kind of sat down and was playing around. I don't know if she was doing it serious, but she had said she has a new horror oracle deck.
It's the one she did.
Yeah, and the first card she drew out of it was a death card. I was like, imagine that. And she's like, "This don't mean death. I mean, it could be like rebirth and stuff." Well, the second card was a rebirth card. And then the third card was a skull of stars, which means like fame, popular, good things or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Well, see, it's a new burning of an old dying, beginning of a new, and then you're going to be famous." I'm like, "Famous?" She's like, "Well," I'm like, "Don't tell me that. I don't want to know that things." But it might not be for paranormal.
I don't know.
I can go on a killing spree. No, I'm just
I'm
a serial killer. What's my hat?
That looks like Jack the Ripper hat. That's good. For dang sure.
Very good. This is actually Jack the Ripper's hat. No, I'm gonna start telling people that. No, but and then she said, "Well, they keep telling me that I have the abilities to see things."
He doesn't believe anything.
And I don't believe that. And she keeps trying to tell me that. And there's a couple people that told me, "You have the ability. You just got to open it up." I'm like, "What do I have to do?" Knock on my head. What do I have to do? And the next three cards were it was the witch's card, invisibility, and then something else, which she says that has to do with all my powers or my seeing that, I'll be able to, have the energy to see invisible people and they're not there and stuff like that. So
welcome to my world. Well, I don't see him, but apparently Heidi thinks I'm going to see him too. She said, "You're there." She said, Heidi said, but because right now it's been a thing where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to see him and I'm trying to open up that part. And she's like, be thankful for it now because once you see him, you're going to see him all the time. I was like, thanks, Heidi.
Maybe I don't want to see him.
I know. I'm still like, oh, I don't know. Oh, kind of catch up a little bit. But Pam said, love that. Always wanted to get my aura done.
That's really cool.
It is. I have to say Curly and the Three Stooges. Say, go with Jack the Ripper. It sounds more cool.
Hey, Curly for the Three Stooges is cool too. That was it, all of us? Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that was that.
That was Sunday. Yeah.
And then Monday, we had Replicon Radio Halloween Devil Night podcast.
And you guys can go to Replicon Radio on YouTube and watch that video. It's 2 parts because they had to move the equipment from one floor and we had them stop and move the equipment to the next floor and stuff.
And we
didn't go up. We went down.
We went down because it was too much of a hassle to carry it all. It was easier carrying it down the steps and all those.
And Freaky P is one scaredy guy, man. It was very entertaining.
I was scared. It's so funny.
Yes, Freaky P's. Paul is definitely a scaredy guy.
So he was the first one to show up, and I had left to go get us food.
Yeah, he walked in the building like, all
his equipment.
He's always the chicken one, He's like, I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it for the show, or I'm gonna do it. And he walked in, he was like, I need to use the bathroom. I'm like, oh, it's through the ballroom and at the other end.
Okay.
He's like, okay, and he trounced through there. I'm thinking, man, for someone that's always scared, he's pretty, walking through there. And I was like, all right.
There.
And it was dark too. Like the lights weren't on.
Yeah, no.
And then he come back. He's like, well,
who's here?
Yeah, who else is here? And I said, just me and you. He's like, no, there was people back there talking behind that curtain. And I'm like, nope, there's nobody here. And then he was like, oh shit. He was like, and then it kicked in for him. I was
he's like, ah. Yeah. And then we've done it a little bit before with who did we do it with? We Haunted Garage. We kind of investigated the ballroom, but usually that's where everyone hangs out. So we don't really investigate that area. We kind of let that be everyone's kind of resting and safe room area. But we investigated that area and
got a lot of activity in that area.
We set out cat balls, tripwire, REM pod, and Lauren, who was there with us, she had these she got it from the dollar store, but they're like motion censored like ghosts, and it was really cool. So we set all those out, and as soon as we set them out, tripwires going off, cat ball, flash mag lights, yeah. And we're like, oh my gosh.
Heidi was there Saturday night. She actually came and she was sitting down there and she said that I didn't forget to tell you this though. I went into the bathroom and I'm in the bathroom peeing, and all of a sudden the door is like opens up on me. I'm like,
which one? The inside door, the outside
bathroom door?
Because you go through the 2 doors.
Well, the inside. I only closed the one door. I only see one door. But anyway, whatever door I closed.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it just opened up, and I'm standing there peeing. I'm like,
hello?
I'm like, so I got done peeing and I washed my hands. I went outside, and Heidi's like, Heidi's like, did you meet Ginger? I said, is that who opened my door?
Ginger.
And she's like, yeah, that was probably Ginger. She goes, she's a redhead, and she's got a corset and a bustier, and she got stockings and garters on.
Red hair.
Yeah. And I was like, is that the one who opened the door? She's like, yeah, she kind of likes to watch the men and everything. And she's like, I was in there, and she came in, and she was like, ooh. And she's like, cut it out. I'm in the bathroom. So she said her name was Ginger, and it's funny is because I had said something to Nicole about it last weekend, and Nicole said that's the second time that name has come up, but they never knew what she looked like. So, when a name pops up more than once, then it's kind of something. So we were teasing Paul and telling him that Ginger was over there with them and stuff. And he'd walk up to the flashlight and be like, the flashlight would come on and stuff. He'd be like, ah! He's
like kicking his leg. I'm like,
He's like, something's on my back.
But it was because you were in Estes. You were doing Estes. And we had I was like, the tripwire hadn't gone off, and I was like, no, we weren't really getting too much on that, like, you know, on Estes. And I was like, can you make that tripwire go off again? And it was, and I was like, can you go the other way? The tripwire, we have not, it goes off, but then it doesn't. But that was the first time it was actually consistent and on command, that tripwire. How many times were like, can you turn the tripwire on?
I had a blindfold on. I didn't get to see it.
And then me and Lauren were like,
I didn't get to see it.
It was really cool. And then I had gone to the bathroom, and it was before Estes, so we were doing Phasmobox and then Estes. And before we even had to turn the Phasmobox on, I was like, "Oh, let me go to the bathroom real quick." So I walked in the bathroom, and I hear this like woman like singing, but not fully like a note or anything. It was kind of like really quick, and I was like, "Okay." Washed my hands, went out, and I was like, did you guys turn the Phasmobox on or like a radio or play a song or anything? Because we were trying to play music. And they were like, no, we haven't even turned. It was Phasmobox, I don't think was even open anyways. And I was like, there was someone just singing, like a woman. And apparently Lauren had gone to the bathroom and she didn't tell me until we had talked at like later on. She's like, oh yeah, I heard. She's like, hey, did you know there was a woman that sung in the bathroom? And I was like, oh, no, but I heard that too.
Probably Ginger.
And so the fact that two people heard that and then at different times and then we didn't tell each other till later on. Yeah, because she was like, I heard some woman talking or singing or whatever in the bathroom. And I was like, I did too. So that was pretty creepy. And then we went downstairs and Freaky P did the car crash, and I think that freaked him out the most because he was sitting there and he was staring, and it took us a little while to get settled in like in that like I always say like you have to go in like a meditative mindset when you do that, just to have to focus. And those two were hilarious. Big Roo and him were hilarious. So it is very hard to concentrate. So we finally do that, and he's like, the light's going off. Because we had like a K2 meter on the mirror, and then we had the tripwire around him. He was like, the light's going off. We're like, no, it's not. He's like, the light's going off in the mirror. I see it. It's right there. It was going off in the mirror and was not. He was freaked out. He got up. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, then we did like dual Estes, and they called Kenny's room. They called Kenneth.
Oh, that was upstairs. They called him by his full.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, you're not gonna call me by my
that was
my legal name."
We were in the ballroom. It said Kenneth, and he was like, Rue got up and he was like, "No." We're like, "What?" He's like, "That's my like real legal name." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, he was like, "I'm done." Like how everybody's done. Like, I'm done, but you're still staying.
And then we went downstairs, and then I went and sat in the mirrors again, and it was definitely a different feeling. And then I kept seeing, like, in the mirrors, like, black, not black, either, like, mist or something, but it was, like, shadows moving, like, black mist in the mirrors, not on the wall, but in the mirrors. I can see them bouncing back and forth. And it was so funny. Yeah, because we both said it, and you were like, which side? And I was like, I keep seeing the black mist. And we both said on this side at the same time. They're both in
I
the
see
left mirror.
Outside of the mirror. It was like going up the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Maddie went into Estes and was like, called my name like 3 times.
Yeah, I was like, Dan.
And I'm like, why are you calling my name? And it said, we know what you did.
You were like,
I'm like,
what?
And like, basement. I'm like,
I've never heard more clear voices come out.
I'm like, okay. So when we left, we turned the light off and I flipped the mirrors around on the opposite, so they're not facing each other and stuff.
You flipped those mirrors around, and then it felt totally different.
Well, I had shown up. That was Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And we did. Everybody can go watch that video. It's a great video. It's a funny night.
It's hilarious.
It's want to see a man that's actually really scared, and that's Freaky P. He's definitely, yeah, that's.
They're just funny guys.
Yeah, and then there was not much after that. We kind of just packed up and left. Halloween was cool. Hope everybody had a great Halloween.
Carrie said,
hello, Carrie.
The hat definitely is a look.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Right now, what is this? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? But yeah, Halloween was good. Halloween was cold.
Oh my god!
Like, why couldn't the weather be like this today? There would have been thousands of trick or treaters out.
Oh my gosh!
So
people were dropping their kids off in their car because it was so cold.
we spent Halloween. Everybody saw the pictures. We dressed up.
Yes,
me and Maddie dressed up, and then we spent it with family. Emily and Kathy and my brother Tony.
That night.
Dum Dum walked across the street and sprung her ankle. That was a fun night. We decided.
Carrie said it's good.
Okay. I was sitting there talking with family and everything. I think next year we're going to do a Haunted Soulz trunk or treat.
Yeah.
I talked to Haunted Garage today.
Yeah.
I talked to, and I think it's going to be Haunted Soulz and Haunted Garage classic car trunk or treat. They got a lot. They know some people that got some really cool classic cars and stuff. And I think we'll do like a afternoon trunk or treat into the evening time and have like a big movie on a projector and stuff. Have a scary kids movie or whatever.
Maybe like Halloween, like Hocus Pocus, like that kind of Halloween stuff.
Maybe
stuff
have some fire pits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We just gotta find out.
Everyone that hands out candy has to dress up.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Every car has like a little theme.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're all down for it. I talked to them today, so we'll get that in order and stuff. But I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's something maybe get community-wise.
We're a big Halloween family. We love Halloween.
I just got to find a parking lot big enough.
Yeah. You can probably find it, though.
Kenny, you got to give me we do a big Kimswick trunk or treat. Classic car trunk or treat in Kimswick.
That'd be cool.
There you go, Kenny. On? You get it on. Kenny's always on. He just hides.
Which I actually got to saw Kenny at the bowling alley finally. It was out of Kitchen and Bath and out of Paranormal, a podcast.
Yeah, Kenny, we need a big, huge parking lot. That'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, so that was, and
Halloween.
then.
Oh, so I forgot to tell you. So the Friday nights I was there, I was talking to Mark and Nicole, and they do tours on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Haunted Limp Mansion.
Mm-hmm. They do a bunch of haunted tours around St. Louis.
Yeah. So I said, what do you say?
He said, LOL, eating good dinner, but I'll bring it up, LOL.
So they were like, oh, we got tours on Thursday. I said, Mark, joking. I said, Mark, you can make a 20-year-old girl's dream come true or whatever. I mean, my daughter's like, always wanted to, investigate it or just be at the event. And Nicole looked at me and goes, well, she can come and work the tours with us next Thursday. I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, she can be the caboose. She can, push the people because they like to wander in the back of the group. So I told you that, Saturday?
Yeah. It was I always love going to investigations, but investigations were not on my mind the whole time. It was Thursday night of the Limp Mansion. Yeah. Limp Mansion is what I used to spend hours and hours looking up photos and articles and paranormal stuff about the Limp Mansion. Like that was I always say like that's the place that got me into paranormal, because being from St. Louis and being so young, I remember when I was driving and it was Kristen and Keith. They were like, the Limp Mansion. I was like, what's the Limp Mansion? And they drove me by it and everything. And I was just in awe the whole time. So I got to go there and I got to hear the real history, not all these
So-called stories.
So-called stories, the actual history, the people, the common spirits that are there. Got to actually see the bedrooms and walk the stairs, go downstairs, and it was like I felt it was so funny. I was compared to the other day to like when I went to Disney World. I felt like a little girl again. I was like
if that's all it took, I didn't have to spend
little
$7,000 at Disney World.
No, yeah, you did. You could do it again, but I was like. The whole time I was like, if little Madison could see me right now, she would pee her pants. And not in the scary way. But yeah, it was amazing. And then Mark and Nicole got me this sandwich from there, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I want to go back to dinner because I just smelled the food the whole time.
And then of course they said, well, Madison, you can come next weekend.
And I'm like, I'll be there.
Yeah. So now she's got a running gig with
Hey, I'll be the caboose.
With the tours there on Thursday night. So if you go and take a tour on Thursday night, say hi to Madison while you're there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, she gets to go to the mansion. Yes. That was her Thursday night.
Yeah. And then Friday.
I did a Halloween party Friday.
Yeah. And then Saturday was the
Psychic Fair at the mansion.
Yeah.
Well, it was the Ghost Stories, St. Louis Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Event that she had at the mansion. I was there all day, just kind of put out equipment. People were asking questions when they came in. There were psychic readers and stuff. She did her own little 2-hour ghost hunt, which was kind of nice. It wasn't long.
I heard she had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She's never been really like ghost hunting with us. It was funny, her talking to people.
And I got to talk to Mark all day and everything. And maybe I set some balls in motion with that, which I'll tell in a little while. But
yeah, Nicole's like, Haunted Soulz knows more about the ghosts than I do in my own building. She's like, I just go there to work half the time because she's always so busy. But
yeah, I ran the ghost hunt. I mean, it was kind of cool too. At one point, I thought Nicole was upstairs, and because I heard someone like boom, boom, like drop something and like walk, and I thought she was moving something, and I literally went upstairs and the light was off, and I'm like. And then I came down and she was like, I was like, I thought you were upstairs. She goes, I thought you were upstairs. She goes, I went upstairs looking for you and you weren't up there. I heard this big boom and I thought you were up there. And I was like, I just heard I heard another boom and I thought you were up there. And I'm like, definitely something moving around. And then she's like, will you go up there and make sure no one's up there? Like one of the guests wandered up the steps or whatever. Yeah. So I went up there and looked. I'm like, there ain't nobody up there. And she's like, we heard walking all day. Like it was, and then she's like, she asked me when I got there too. She's like, did you turn the mirrors downstairs? I said, oh yeah, I told her the story. I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, that was a little creepy. She's like, I was like, I came in and all the mirrors were turned around.
She's probably like, hopefully Dan did that.
Yeah. I kind of told her that. And she's like, maybe we should turn the mirrors around and just play with the wind. I was like, okay. But
I think she's getting a little freaked out with them down there.
Yeah, I mean, she did the whole ghost hunt and wanted me to do it, and she was like, wow. She was like, you guys do a lot better than what I do. And we got a lot more toys and different electronics and stuff like that. So so we did the 2-hour ghost hunt, which was nice. Did a human pendulum. You can see some pictures. I think there's pictures up on someone made a video, the Sister Cities. They were there. They're called Sister Cities Paranormal. One sister's in Louisville, one's here in St. Louis. They had won tickets from the podcast on Refined podcast, and they were there and they met. We talked, and they did a little video thing of all the pictures they took.
That's cool.
And posted on St. Louis Haunted Mansion, shared it and stuff. And I'm actually in that photo.
Nice.
Explaining something. Yeah.
What a model.
My big, huge body. I gotta lose some weight. But yeah, I mean, and then they did a seance, and I was packing up because I know that when she's done with her events, they like to get out. So I was like, she's like, you gonna come up to the seance? I was like, oh, I'll be up there in a second. And some people were talking to me, and I was trying to pack up my equipment and stuff because I knew that once the seance was over, they were ready, to go. Yeah. And I didn't want to be sitting there packing.
Lauren helps out with tours, and she does the tours with Mark, and she also has a job, so it gets tiring and everything, and they've been there all day.
So I had taken and took some pictures and stuff like that. I had taken the camera up there, and I was like, "Oh, they're at the end of this seance. I'm gonna go up here and check it out." And I took some pictures. And Lauren was doing, or not Lauren, I'm sorry, Nicole was doing a seance with a. I don't know if anybody's ever seen uranium glass, but it glows under UV light because the light or the little amount of uranium that's in this glass, it glows. So she had a chalice sitting on a UV light, and she had a Victorian penny on a string hanging inside the glass. And it was kind of cool because when she asked a question, in order for it to be a yes question, it would have to ding the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And if it didn't ding the glass, it was like a no. And I was taking pictures.
It was kind of like a mag light.
Yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah, you know, and she was like, "Oh, do you mind?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can I take pictures?" And she had asked the spirit, she goes, "Do you mind if Dan takes a picture?" And it was like, ding. And she was like, "Okay." She goes, "Do you like your picture taken?" And it was like, ding, 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 ding. It was like banging against the thing. She's like, "Okay, okay." And stuff. And it was really cool how, it was like a visual sound, not a visual, but a sound that you could hear. Audible than just a pendulum going in a circle or doing what. So it was kind of cool.
Which sounds like from our previous being there at the mansion, what our goal was the more we're there, the more used to they are. Which we've been seeing more every single time we go.
Yeah, I mean, they actually called my name out, and I mean, they don't know other than hearing people say Dan inside there, they know who I am.
Yeah, or the couple of times we've introduced ourselves on our investigations.
Yeah, so the more you're there, the more they start getting out, they start interacting more with you, and they come around, which is kind of nice when you're doing
Nicole and Eli
hunts.
probably like it because they don't think that they're going insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that the little sounds I hear, like walking upstairs, like, oh, they're walking around. Mm-hmm. And when you're there enough, you start getting used to what sounds are made and what they do and stuff. And it's a lot easier for ghost hunting too, that, they're used to you, then they'll respond to you when you start talking to them. Yeah. And stuff like that.
You might not have those such long breaks of not getting anything at all.
But I had talked to Mark all day, and Mark was like, "Hey, I got some tours to do." He said, "Why don't you come up told Nicole after the event, come on up to the office, come on up to, the limp."
Which I saw the office. And
then, so it was late. It was like 11:30, and Lauren's like, Lauren, I'm like, Nicole's like, I was like, "Hey, you gonna go to the office?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll swing by there." I was like, "All right, I'll follow you." So I went, and Maddie had already seen the office. And I'll tell you right now, if I could have a paranormal office, this guy, Mark, at the Lynn Brewery, his office in the brewery is just phenomenal. I mean, he's got all kinds of cool stuff. He's got just a seance room it's got Ouija boards all over the walls, like hanging up. It's got a baby casket in the corner.
Yeah.
It's got a cross, a crucifix from a church that's it's got Jesus on it. It's just not a cross. It's huge. It's like
they have 2 Ouija boards that are like put up in a frame with crosses in the front of it because people have given them it, and they're like, "Oh, well, my house burnt down after we played with it. Oh, my parents got in a car crash after it happened." And they're like, "We're not going to play with it, but we'll put it up on the wall."
Yeah, so.
But it's got a bunch of cool stuff and everything.
He does seances and Ouija board seances. So I asked him if we could do a live podcast, and he'll do a Ouija board seance on the podcast. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be coming up here shortly in a couple weeks, probably. Is that we're going to actually, on a Tuesday night, it's going to be an actual seance going to be taking place on the podcast. So we'll be there, but we're not going to be talking, and we're going to be doing the seance thing and seeing what would be kind of cool and stuff. So you'll have to tune in and check that out. It's going to be really cool on that one.
Yeah. I don't know how it goes, but I mean, I know you won't play with it, but I will if it's enough. Yeah.
I mean, Mark's someone had said that Nicole said he's pretty good at teaching and stuff. So if he's pretty good with it and everything, I would trust to play with him with it.
So we don't know what that entails, but Pam said, "Oh my gosh, awesome." But yeah.
Yeah. So we were supposed to go this Saturday to a group of the people I used to work with at GHU. We were getting together for this big place. We were going to Indiana State Sanitarium. Maddie was going to get to go finally
Yes.
because she's been wanting to go. She's the only one in the group that hasn't gone. And so we took and we were going to go, and then it got canceled. So a group of people around here still wanted to go investigate. They were off for that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to find a place somewhere cool here in town or something to do. So I started talking to Mark about the Limp Mansion, and things didn't look like it was going to pan out for that way. But he said, "Hey,"
which is hard because they would, like they said, they would have to rent. Like they're not going to stop anyone from renting out the rooms, and then that causes problems with.
If you don't have the room, then you can't investigate.
Yeah,
stuff like that. So he's like, "But I have keys to the brewery." And I'm like, "You mean like Lent Brewery? And he's like, "Yes." He goes, "That's where I do my tours on Saturday, is the Lent Brewery." So I said, "Can we come in and investigate the Lent Brewery and stuff?" So we went by there. He's like, "Well, I don't know. Let me figure it out." And I know Nicole did a lot of, thank you, Nicole, if she watches, that she did a lot of begging and asking for Mark and stuff, because Mark
she put in a lot of good words for us.
Mark hasn't been burned by a lot of paranormal groups trying to take over his stuff, or going behind his back and doing stuff. So he's very, very lenient on what he wants to do, what he wants people to come in and do, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to tell him that I'm not looking to do that, and we're looking to investigate. So
yeah.
he's like, "Well, come by the office." So Saturday night we went by the office, checked out his cool office. And it's about midnight or so, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Bottle Works?" And that's what they call the brewery, is Bottle Works, is we're down at the plant and stuff. So I was like, "Okay, why not? I'll see something that I've never seen before." So,
I've never seen that. I went to the mansion.
So, she went to the mansion, so I thought, hey, I'll need to go there because I went somewhere that she hasn't seen, So we went down there, and we went in the building, then took a big flight steps down, walked around the corner, and went another big old flight steps down. And
which Nicole had previously sent us some pictures, roughly was 5 pictures of, and it was creepy.
And I walked down into this black mass, and he turned the light on, and I'm gonna tell you, this room, cavern, I don't know what it is. It was huge, and we took and saw that room, and then I was like, "Wow, this room's." He's like, "Oh no, wait." He's like, "Come over here," and we walked into another doorway, turned on the light, and they call that the great room, and that thing was huge. And it's kind of cool too. It's got red lights hanging from it, glowing and stuff. That's the only room that's lit. And that thing was huge. I'm talking 50 yards wide and deep. It's just huge. And then you walk through a door, and it was called the Mercantile Tunnel or Commerce Tunnel. But that tunnel led to all the other buildings you couldn't get to, but you can only go to a certain point. Then we went to another room that was 100 yards wide and 100 yards deep, and it was fenced off. And at the end of the fence, it goes into another room, cavern, and that has other tunnels that go to other buildings that we can't get to, but you can kind of go into that room.
Yeah.
He took me into the Limp vault where they kept their money, was in the brewery in the basement, in those caverns. It was a room that was a vault, and it's got pink tile. It's got a tile room. It's not just it's a pretty cool. The fixtures are the original still, and everything in there. And it was funny is that we were sitting in there, and we're just chit chatting. It was me, Nicole, and Mark. So where his office is, there's a bar on the corner, and you get heard people all night, in and out of the bar and stuff. Well, that's what I heard was people chit chatting, chatter, and whatever. And I was like, oh, just jokingly, not jokingly, but just oh, I can hear the people in the bar.
Oh, I can really hear the people in the
bar.
bar.
And he's like, he looks at me and goes, no, you're underground. I'm like, oh, and then I thought, wait a minute, we drove 2 blocks away from the bar, literally heard people outside the door of the vault talking. And I was like, it freaked me out. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, are they going to close the door? Nicole said they did a game where they closed someone in there and closed the door and let them scream to see if they could hear them. And she's like, no, we couldn't hear that person scream. I'm like, that is creepy. That's creepy that you can't hear someone screaming at vault like you were, But that was, I heard people there, and then that room led into a room that was 150 yards wide and 150
Brandon says
yards.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and it's like 150 yards deep. It just goes goes and goes and goes. And I'm like, Mark, this is cool, this space. And I'm like, dude, you gotta let us. I was talking to him. I'm like, you gotta let us come investigate. You gotta let us come, maybe hold an event here. We could 50 people at least. It was so big. It's just tavern, and then they have an upstairs, and then they have another building that we can investigate.
It's a huge
brewery. Huge brewery.
And back in the day, before it was Anheuser-Busch, that was the main one in St. Louis. It was the Lemp Brewery. That was the main beer everyone got in St. Louis.
We left. I was just like, the place was creepy. It was black as black. You turn the lights off, you can't see nothing. It's just, you're underground, tunnels, and you could get lost down there. And I don't know if they would ever find you. Just the tunnels and the noises. Yeah. You heard noises constantly in other parts because it echoes.
Which is crazy how you can see a lot of tunnels, because the city, there's a lot of tunnels that really don't go out into, you can't follow the tunnels that go underneath St. Louis anymore, because the city basically came up all block.
Well, they made the sewer district. Yeah. That's what they made the sewers into, the tunnels.
Yeah. So a lot of the part now that you can't really do that, but the fact that you were able to still you even say there's a lot of tunnels, and I'm like, there's even more tunnels that we can't even see.
It's just mind
blowing.
It's just pillars and floor and ceiling, just pillars, and it's rock. It's not even wood. It's just rock. They could drive a truck in there. You could drive a car in there. That's how big it was. You could just drive around. You could drive a motorcycle around.
What freaks me out is that you're a little freaked out, and I'm even more freaked out than you.
So I get a phone call yesterday from Nicole. She's like, hey, good news. Mark said that you guys can come Saturday night and investigate. So this Saturday, we are going to Lemp Brewery to investigate.
Which, besides Mark's and Nicole's paranormal team, it's not really open to any other paranormal team.
We will be the first big group to go in here and investigate.
Yeah. Besides the people that do the tours, yeah.
And sad, they don't even investigate. They don't. Mark and Nicole, the only two people that's ever investigated there.
Yeah.
And there's everybody else. So it's an untapped place that we get to go in Saturday night from 10 to 2, 4 hours and everything. And then hopefully things go well. We'll cross our fingers, and maybe we'll be doing an event in December.
Yeah.
At the local, our Lemp Brewery.
Will you guys be going live that night?
Everybody's asked me that. I don't know how well
the connection
connection's going to be underground.
If anything, we'll take video, and then we
will try. We definitely will try to be live.
Yeah,
because it's going to be really cool. Because this is going to be something that no one has ever seen.
Yeah,
unless you've taken the tour,
you can take a tour of the brewery.
Yeah, you can take a tour, but to investigate it, no one's really been down there to investigate. And I think it's so dark down there that you can put tripwires. We're going to have 3 sets of tripwires.
You need 3 sets of tripwires.
It's going to be the visuals of the lights going off, and
you're going to be able to look away from it and see that light go off.
Yeah, and it's just going to be really cool. And if things go well, then Brandon, you'll have to come, and we'll be holding an event in December, hopefully, and everybody can come and investigate.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it'll be an untapped thing. It'll be the first time that
I think if we can't get the live going, though, we'll definitely
go live eventually, because we might go upstairs to the 2nd floor area and investigate that, and that's above ground.
Yeah.
So we might go, if we can't get live going on down the basement, in the caverns. It's like I said, it's underground, so I don't know how well we're going to get reception, and there's no Wi-Fi in there. So
yeah. So if it goes bad though, we'll switch off and then take video and post it on our YouTube or something.
Yeah, and then there's other places that if things go well, there's other places there that he told us that we could investigate. Like when we were standing outside the office, the one building that has nothing but offices above his office.
Yeah.
He's like, you can investigate up there.
Yeah.
And because he says
they do all the St. Louis haunted tours around St. Louis.
Yeah. So
St.
there's
Louis
other
really
things.
haunted.
So hopefully things go well. Well, we'll be going to a lot more places.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Limp Mansion is not going to be one. It's just a lot of tape. It's just a lot of paperwork. And
hopefully, maybe one night we'll be able to stay at the Limp Mansion, just get a room.
I think next year, I think that should be the Replicon Radio Haunted Soulz Halloween.
I
think we should
rent out the room.
We should just rent out the whole Limp and do the Halloween thing there. That would be kind of cool.
Love that.
But see, from 6 to 10, though, people are eating dinner, though.
Yeah, but then
they would have to do something. Well,
usually,
it's not actually on their podcast, so it would be a Saturday or something, so we could do it later that night.
Yeah, usually by like 11 o'clock or something. Usually everyone starts going up to their rooms and everything.
Yeah, so that was that's kind of like where we're at today. That's
so sad, so excited for you guys.
Thank you. So we got some good things on the horizon, hopefully. Try to get some guests. I talked to a couple of the guests. The Athena, the zombie lady, she's over in Scandinavia right now or something like that. I can't remember. She told me to call her next week about setting up a date. She's going to be coming on here talking about zombies and the apocalypse.
Yeah. You ever just show me the lady that was
Becky?
Yeah, Becky. She does really a lot of different things with paranormal. Yeah. Try to make her house into a haunted house, and
she's collecting a lot of haunted things. She's on TikTok, and she's actually been to like the original Sally or Annabelle house where the Raggedy Ann, the guy was telling the story.
The original Annabelle.
Yeah, the original Annabelle.
And said, "I can't wait so many for you guys."
Thank you. It was good for you to be back on, lady. We missed you.
Yeah, missed you, Pam.
Missed you. Make sure I tuck my ears in.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you taking my feelings in consideration.
Oh, my ears look like they're pinned down. But a lot of good things, hopefully. Starting to get our thing together.
Ooh, my purse.
Oh.
So Heidi, when we were at the metaphysical fair, Heidi came up to our table after our speech, and she had this black Ouija board purse. And me and Susan were like, "Oh my gosh, so cute!
So excited! I knocked the game thing over.
We need one. You're just jealous you don't have one." And so my dad said, "I have a surprise for you. Susan got you something." And I was like, "What?"
No, I didn't say it like that. I said, "Hey, come upstairs. If you empty the dishwasher,
that's what you said.
Help me move some things. I got a surprise for you." Yeah. And you're like, "Just show me the surprise." And I showed her the purse.
I came up from my basement.
And I showed her the surprise, and she was like, "Oh my God." And she like came up to give me a hug. I'm like, don't hug me.
Pink. Oh, it's not gonna.
You gotta show closer to the camera so they can see.
It's a pink Ouija board purse. And if anyone knows me, I love pink, love sparkling, and I love paranormal. So it's the pink Ouija board purse. And this is now my prized possession. So shout out to Susan, who she's getting a black purse. So we're gonna have matching little purses.
I was gonna take the credit.
I was wondering because I was like, how did you hear? Because I had mentioned a pink one. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that they had a pink one. Pam said, "Love you guys," and then she said, "Love it." I know, I love it too. It's my it's my little baby. Matches your earrings. It does.
And I got a new hat. That's it.
Okay, to be fair, you have not had a good running with hats. What happened at where were we at? No, we were in Dodge City. What was the one after that? The Paracon. The Silcon.
With the lady with the top hat?
Yes. The one with the horns. Yes.
I like that hat.
That and the rats. Was it a raccoon tail?
Raccoon
tail hanging off the back. And we were having a whole hour discussion about it. So I will say I'd rather take that than the porn.
Get used to it.
But yeah, so it was a lot of passed in a couple 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of information going on.
An hour and a half worth of information.
Yeah, I'm surprised people are still on there. Like, are we just listening to these people ramble? But yeah, there's a lot of good things coming for Haunted Soulz Paranormal.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot more couple different people investigating with us and stuff in the future here. Hopefully, this meeting with JD goes good on Friday, and maybe
I'm gonna hook you up with a death head moth hairpin, Dan.
Did I not tell you that would have been good? I would have had that on the back of it. Yep. And everything. So, maybe we'll start making some documentaries here in St. Louis. Get
New
some
marketing out there?
Marketing, yeah. So
just keep your eyes open.
Stick around with us.
Yes.
We're going places.
And the people who have.
Yeah, we are. We literally are going places to investigate.
We are.
But we'll have hopefully by the middle of November, maybe Thanksgiving, Black Friday, maybe we'll have a huge Black Friday sale on future tickets to events.
We kind of mentioned it before.
I think we might do that. And we'll have all of our new dates out. It gives me a push to get some new dates out.
Yeah.
I gotta get some date planners and I need that calendar to come up here too.
Okay.
I need to get a calendar for us so we can write down, because we do have metaphysical fairs that we have planned for next year, since we've been working with them, and it's kind of nice that when you walk through, everybody's like, "Hey, you're back," and
we're like, "Oh," we're like, "I didn't know."
Yeah. Well, your brother went last time.
Yeah.
And then you.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're Madison." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, so
Which, I mean, if you think about it, like, to us, we're just a daughter and a dad just talking like the paranormal. Like, that's just like, so, like, we said it before, people coming in here to listen to us, or people listening to our conference, or, recognizing us at metaphysical fairs, we're like, what?
Well, apparently that lady at the metaphysical fair is like, "I've seen you. You were on Travel Channel."
Oh, that was so funny.
I'm like, "No," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you. You've been on the Travel Channel." I'm like, "No." Like, was I on Arrested and Abroad or what? I'm like, it wasn't having to do with paranormal. I'm like,
she's like,
"Yeah." Yeah, and then some other lady said the exact same thing. I'm like,
"You're a very distinctive guy.
I need to start wearing the hat. They're really gonna know that it's not me. The hat will set it apart. Like, oh yeah, I know you because of that hat."
It's usually the kilt.
I'm gonna decorate I'm gonna decorate this hat up to shit. It's gonna be a cool paranormal.
Well,
hat.
You're gonna have the whole graveyard on it eventually.
Yeah, I might not. I'm gonna have a death moth pin. That's gonna be cool. I've seen it today. Pam's death moth hair clip thing was pretty cool. It was Pam.
I believe it.
but
yeah. So if you want to come to any investigations that we have next year, we'll do a little plugins.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be changing things on the Facebook page. New pictures, new products coming out, new things that we are selling, and everything. So
you said that hat will set you free.
That's right. Other people telling me they recognize me. One day.
You're a very distinctive man.
Hattie said I was famous, but apparently I'm famous for something else.
You're a very distinctive man. Like, I could pick you out anywhere, but somehow you have a recognizable face. I'm like, I don't understand it.
Apparently I got many doppelgangers out there.
Apparently.
So, yeah. So
Kathy said, "Death moth?"
Oh, that's right. She don't like moths.
Oh.
My sister-in-law does not like butterflies or moths.
Butterflies are beautiful. I don't like birds.
It's the flappy thing, I think, that freaks her out.
I don't like birds. Birds freak me out.
Put a big raven on this motherfucker. Put a big raven sitting up here.
Oh my gosh. Someone want to take him? He's for free. I'll put him on the front porch.
So yeah, hopefully Saturday night is going to be a blast.
I think it's just going to be cool to be in the building.
Yeah, if we can't go live, we're actually going to have cameras going anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to be videotaping the whole 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if we can't get live, we'll at least have the video
Mhm.
that you guys can watch. It'll be up on YouTube. I don't know if we'll just run, since it's a short thing, if we'll edit some things out or just run the whole thing.
Yeah.
And let you guys have the whole, we'll cut it in 2 different parts or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just have a whole video you guys can watch on there. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be untapped. Nobody's been ever really investigating. Just to give you a little hint, I talked about him earlier. Freaky Pete will be there. I invited Replicon Radio because Tony, he never gets to come to 2 events he's come. And so I invited him and his wife to come to investigate finally. And I really want to see Freaky Pete down in these dark ass cabins because it's going to scare the shit out of his ass. Especially when they turn the flashlight and everybody's going to walk away from him.
I'm nervous. I've just
drove
driven by the building and everybody was freaked out. So
yeah, so
it's gonna be fun this weekend. So
definitely. And some new things. Hopefully, some new places are going to be on our list that a lot of people don't get to investigate. So there'll be some new places. I know I asked how much the Fox Theater was to rent out.
Yeah,
It was like $22,000.
Maybe if you get that famous stuff, maybe so. But
So we got to sell 25,000.
I'll just go see plays.
We just got to sell out 20. We got to sell 25,000 tickets. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends to investigate the Fox Theater.
Which I don't think really anyone's.
It's haunted, but
I bet it is.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Old. St. Louis is just old.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
But and then hopefully I'll get better about editing videos.
Yeah, because this one is still haven't got that dual.
I know. I'm sorry. I've been horrible about it.
Yeah, this is the person I know that will watch YouTube videos and TikToks for 3 hours. And I'm like, did you get the video done? No, I don't have the time. Well, you just sat and watched 3 hours of videos.
Wait, I'll put Carrie's up. Wait, Pam said yay. She first, yeah, about us, and then she laughed at me saying someone can get him. Carrie said, I still love my hoodie, by the way, super comfortable, cozy. Everyone should get one. It's nice.
Yeah, get the new heat press.
And then Maddie said, hey, Mom said, Maddie's future wedding venue.
Oh, speaking of Maddie and wedding venue, so if anybody knows, my daughter played sports from 8 years old to like 18 in high school, and she went to college for it and stuff.
And then T-ball and baseball.
Yeah, T-ball and baseball. So she's never had boyfriends, never anything. So she met this one guy in Springfield.
Yeah.
And she dated him for a while back in May, and then they ended up just being friends.
Yeah.
So I had said something to her mother about, hey, did Maddie tell you about, we were coming back from the metaphysical fair Saturday night. It was pouring down raining.
Yeah.
And I do not like to drive in the rain. I'll drive in the snow all day long. I hate driving in the rain because I hate the hydroplane.
Yeah.
Like when you hit the puddle and the water shoots up.
We just know too many people that have gotten in accidents.
And I just hate it, and I don't like it. And we were coming across close to Poplar Street Bridge, and I hit a puddle of the water that was resting in a low point, and the car started to go to the left, and it kind of almost swerved like it was going to go sideways. And then finally I switched it, and it went straight and caught ground. And I looked at her, and I was like, "That freak you out?"
Like, yeah. And I trust them, like, with my life. I wouldn't get in the car, but, like, it was scary. I've never been in a car that's done that.
So I was talking to her mom, and I said, "Hey, did Madison tell you about what happened? Or have you talked to your daughter?
Yeah. Did she tell you anything?
Did she tell you anything?" And her mom goes, "Oh, you mean that she's going on a date with a boy?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I didn't hear about that. I was talking about hydroplaning on the highway." So Maddie.
My dad calls me. So you got a date? I'm like, yeah.
So she had a date with a Polynesian boy.
Yes.
It's because she met two Samoans in college, and now she's attracted to some Polynesian boys from Hawaii. But I have to give the guy credit.
He planned it.
And it was a pretty cool date.
So if you guys are any married couples or anything, try it. Yeah. It's fun.
So they went and got one donut.
From 5 different places.
And then went to the park and ate the donut.
Yeah.
And if y'all know me, I love donuts.
And I like donuts too.
And that was really, I was impressed. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was different. It was unique. It was fun. It was a nice day too. That was like the first nice day. Went to Forest Park and
Yeah, Sunday was
St.
pretty nice.
We went to the World's Fair Pavilion. So that was really nice and it was beautiful.
So I told her, I said, what's going to be on your next date? She's like, I don't know. I said, you should go around and get tacos from each different taco venue and then go eat tacos. I think I'm going to do that.
Aww.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get tacos.
Yeah.
And go sit in the park.
If
and eat
anyone's
tacos.
looking for any date ideas, whether that
Kathy, we can go do hamburgers.
or hanging out ideas for anybody, whether that be hanging out, go get different things from different places, and then
It has to be small though. It has to be donut or taco. Oh, and she did bring me back donuts. So that was a plus.
Yeah. Well, he bought the donuts, so you can thank him. But
I don't even know his name. How do I not know his name?
I told you before.
No, you did not.
Yes, Preston.
Oh, Preston.
And gosh, you have horrible memory. It's that hat.
Actually, I have really
It's that
good
hat
memory.
squeezing your brain. But yeah. So if you wanted any hangout ideas or date ideas, I suggest doing that. It's really fun.
It could do like hamburgers or pizza. Oh, I guess you could do slice of pizza from different places.
Yeah.
There's not many places in St. Louis.
Little
that sell
cupcakes.
slices. Cupcakes is good.
Yeah.
I'm a donut guy. I take a donut.
Oh, I'll take a donut over a cupcake any day.
Yeah. I think tacos would be good. Because tacos are small. You can eat
Yeah,
2 or
tacos
3,
would be
4
good.
tacos, 5, 6.
Yeah.
You go to Jack in the Box. You go to Terra
Ugh.
Taco.
I don't like Jack in the Box tacos.
Janet, don't be knocking Jack in the Box tacos. Jack in the Box, you can sponsor us.
Pam says, I expected an invite. Pam.
No, Pam. There's
Pam.
not going to be no invite right now because there's not a wedding coming.
No, but when eventually in my future, Pam, you're getting an invite. Maybe we'll do, I don't know. Apparently, Nicole's trying to get her, if you're looking for a wedding venue, anybody, if anyone's listening, watching,
St.
Nicole.
Louis Haunted Mansion.
Yes, Nicole at St. Louis Haunted Mansion is going to get her building up and running for a wedding venue, which she has a wedding coming up next year. It's her friends and neighbors. They own a hearse, and so
They live next door.
They live next door, so it's really cool. And so they're doing a wedding venue.
Who would not want to get married in a haunted building?
And it's a beautiful, like her building's beautiful, like the.
Do that dome with the blue light.
Oh.
Watch the video. Go watch Replicon Radio's video. When we're in the ballroom and all we have is the blue light on, that light it's great for that whole.
Oh my gosh, Mom! Then we need to do this. She said margaritas. Me and Mom are gonna do that.
Lush. Who's gonna drive?
Pam said, haha, yes. Pam's
Who the hell
agreed.
you give her an Uber
Sue
that
said,
shit?
go Maddie.
Yeah, but freaking Uber that shit because by the time you get done having 6 margaritas from 6 different places.
No. You go get them and then you go to the park.
Yeah, you're gonna drink them. That's called a bar crawl.
Or hey, why don't you just come pick us up?
That's called a bar crawl.
Yeah. So if you're looking for any kind of wedding, definitely.
Throw a shower, any kind of venue, event space, just any kind of event space. Check out St. Louis Haunted Mansion.
So yeah, and she's really good. She's like, I'm not trying to like run people out of their money and anything like that. So she's very much of reasonable price and everything. So yeah, but that literally concluded until yesterday, or past 2 weeks.
I was on Replicon Radio last night.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do a new podcast a week. They were talking about putting me on their podcast now.
How you
Be one there. Yeah, there's gonna be 4 of us now instead of 3. I don't know. Just joking. Everybody go and like them or subscribe to them.
Replicon Radio,
Replicon
yes.
Radio.
They are funny and hilarious.
They got a lot of cussing and stuff in their podcast and talk about cum and different things and stuff times, but they are very funny and
yes.
They've been doing this podcasting for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they got like, what did he say, like 5,000 followers or something?
Yeah.
Subscribers. They got a lot. They got like 5,000 subscribers. They got people in Australia and all kinds of places and stuff. And they promote us and we promote them.
Yeah.
Jeannie, if you're still on here, I need to get with you. They wanted some cups
Yeah.
We want to start selling some cups with
I think
merch.
she said earlier when we were talking about, you were like, I'm trying to send it some, because she was like, oh, what is it? You were like, I'm trying to send it your business your way, and she said, bring that on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we got some new things, maybe merchandise wise coming out. Trying to get some new hats.
There's gonna be
and
updates
stuff.
to our
webpage
with all of our stuff that we do sell.
Yes, because we do have
We've
like the
added a
voodoo
couple more
dolls, some
things since we've done
scrying
that.
mirrors that we
Yeah.
sell now. I'm gonna experiment with. I do right now. I'm doing these teddy bears and lions and leopards and stuff with skull faces. If anybody has Care Bears they want to send me, I would love to take your Care Bears from you.
Any stuffed animals that your children are giving away?
Yeah, the Care Bear thing, man, that thing sold. That lady bought that thing quicker than everything.
Any teddy
He
bears?
called the girl, and she came for Sunday. He had called and said, "Hey, they got a Care Bear. Has the rainbow on. I can't remember which one it was.
It was the yellow one.
It's the yellow Care Bear with the rainbow. I can't remember which one that one is.
I didn't know they all had names.
They all have names, yeah.
Did they?
Like Lucky Bear is the one with the green with the shamrock on his belly.
What's
And
the blue one?
The blue one? Is that the one with the cloud? Is it like Sad Bear or something like that? I don't know.
I didn't know. I don't really know.
I don't know, but anyway, I had the yellow one, and I took in
Sunshine.
Sunshine. That's it. Thank you.
Per mom.
Yeah, she's the one who told me in the first place. There, Sunshine.
Oh, Pam says I keep watching the merch page.
Yes. Yes, Pam. There's new candles out. We have new candles. We did our new candles different.
That'll be pulling
We
up.
sold through our first box of them faster than we sold the old candles. So we have a whole new box of new candles too. Of frankincense and myrrh candles. They're bigger, and they got more candle in them. They still got the wooden wicks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take the stuffed animal. I cut the face off and put a skull in it. So they're a Care Bear with a skull.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was like, "Oh my god!" They liked it, and he called a friend, and she came and bought it. She came to the fair just to buy the Care Bear. So they said, "Why don't you do the backpacks
with like stuffed animals on them?"
With the backpacks with the stuffed animals and do the face?" So I actually got 3 backpacks coming, and I got a panda, a duck,
Did you get a monkey?
and I couldn't find a monkey, and a teddy bear.
I'd wear the monkey one. I love monkey.
I have to look for one and see if I can find a monkey one. But they said Replicon Radio ruined them. Said you should do a dinosaur, and we can make us a dinosaur. But if you cut the face off the dinosaur, then it takes away. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of new things we have. I have an orange one with the orange skull and everything like that. So we got all kinds of stuff that's going to be coming on.
I don't think they're up. They're not up right now, but they'll be up soon.
They'll be up
when
soon.
We get them up. It's kind of we got a couple new stuff like kind of like we were saying the whole.
Yeah, I got to get some stuff
animals,
that's coming in and stuff like that first. So we'll be putting those on and everything like that.
It's kind of what we're going to be working on in the next
couple weeks, a month. Yeah.
So.
Oh, I got one more. We'll be at the Dark Oddities and Curiosities Convention in DeKalb in Illinois, and the weekend of the 18th and 19th, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. The weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It'll be our last Paracon. And then I did sign us up for the Oddities and Curiosities Convention in St. Louis and in Kansas City this next year.
Isn't that the one that you guys went to? And it was like back to back. You guys were all walking. Like,
yeah, it's pretty big. And it's actually 2 days now. It's not one day. They're 2 days. Every city's got 2 dates now.
Oh, wow.
They needed that because that Saturday that they only had 1 day, that place is crammed full of people.
Yeah.
And like I would go on a different day now. I'd go on a Sunday, not knowing that everybody's going to go on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Watch, everyone's going to come on Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday will be pretty cramped. But cross our fingers, everybody, that we can get into this. We've been trying for 2 years to get into this convention.
So maybe this year be our year.
Yeah, maybe this year will be our year that we can get in there. But it's in April in St. Louis, and then in November in Kansas City. So it would be really cool. That'd be a cool convention. That's like a lot of merch.
Yeah.
That'd be like double the Witches Night Out type thing.
Gosh.
Yeah. So that's kind of us right now. So
yeah.
hopefully next weekend, next Tuesday. I don't know our guest because we're still kind of playing around with that. But hopefully,
right now it's kind of the same thing where everyone's kind of taking their own vacations and doing their own things. So,
if anybody's got any ideas of guests that you would like to know or things that you would like to know, like, Bigfoot or something like that,
Yeah.
you guys are curious or you want to know something in the paranormal, tell us what you want, and I will search and see and try to find a guest that talks about it or whatever and come on. Because we do this for you guys. It's not like I can talk to Maddie anytime I want. The basement goblin, so.
Not all the time. I don't ever come up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I come on here to talk to you guys and give you information. Is there, buildings that you want to hear from? Like, if we can get somebody on from, Winchester House or different places like that. It's on the East and West Coast that we don't have here in the Midwest. Let us know and everything. And, I mean, I might reach out and see if like Winchester, somebody can come talk to us about that, and like Alcatraz, and that'd be kind of cool. Queen Mary or something like that. Yeah, that'd be kind of
doing some of like the big ones. Like it doesn't even, and
because I don't know,
we
eventually not going to make it out there until later, until we get big enough.
And it can be literally the night security guard at the Queen Mary, like, or Alcatraz. Like it doesn't have to be.
Hey, dude, no one knows who you are, but hey.
We would love to hear your stories.
And tell us about the creepy stuff that goes on outside in the paranormal Alcatraz.
I would listen to that man
I watched him on TikTok. So, I mean, I watched his stories.
Said Winchester would be interesting. And Winchester has a lot of workers, too. So.
Yeah. So, maybe what we do.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't.
All right.
Anything else? I think we kept you long enough on our back.
Almost an hour.
I appreciate everybody's support.
Yeah.
Any ideas? We're open to any ideas.
If you
and Pam, yes, we're going to make it to Pennsylvania.
Yes, eventually, Pam. Britta said, "I live in Ohio. I'll keep an eye out this way." Yeah. Yep. We love anywhere. So.
Hey, anywhere in Ohio, that's far. That's not far enough for us not to drive.
No.
If you think that you want an event out that way, you can get some people or whatever. We can do an event out there. Yeah. Just let us know where you would like to investigate in Ohio.
Yeah, and that goes for anybody. If you feel like, hey, there's this really big, or there's this place that a lot of people always want to go investigate with here and blah, 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 send it our way and we'll work something out. We haven't set up our next year.
Yeah, you got to get it in the next week or so because I'm going to start laying out our places and putting our deposits on because the places are booking up right now. So,
but
so if you have any ideas, please shoot us. Haunted Soulz Paranormal on our Facebook page. Message me, send me a list, Brandon or whatever email that if you know a place that you want.
Haunted Soulz Paranormal at Gmail.
Yeah, Haunted Soulz Paranormal at gmail.com too. You can email me.
Hopefully I'll be getting the videos up soon on our TikTok. Bear with me, people.
Hopefully I'll have the B-roll of me and doing the introduction at St. Louis Haunted Mansion. I'm excited to see because they're actually got like an editing team or editors. Yeah. They have all the big equipment to edit and stuff. So I would, it's kind of be like a movie type thing. It would be kind of really cool. Yeah, it would be. So,
but
and I might hopefully maybe work with them about editing our videos and getting them a lot quicker and more professionally. Hard. That's all right. She does a good job.
I'm trying, guys. I'm also a student.
That's right. But thank you guys.
Yeah. Follow on TikTok, Haunted Soulz _paranormal.
All
right there.
Down there.
YouTube, Facebook, group page. We also have a Facebook group page. Promote business.
Evidence. That'll be next week too. We're gonna start doing our thing now that we got enough business cards.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
do shout outs
every week.
Every week there's gonna be a new vendor that we've met, and we're gonna work on it this week and figure out to change the screen and put their link down there so you guys can see local vendors and stuff that we've met that really have really cool products. We've been buying some things from them and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've been spending my money on them.
And if you guys like those hats, that's another announcement.
Oh yeah.
So those custom hats I had with the glow in the dark, I will have Santiago's making me 3 hats each, 3 podcast and 3 of the Haunted Soulz main logo, and they'll be on sale. They are going to be a little bit more higher.
That's just because they're customized.
So they're going to be selling for 30 or 35, but they
Mhm.
are custom hats.
They glow in the dark.
They glow in a UV light and the dark, and they're all one of a kind. There's
Yep.
not a duplicate. So those should be coming. He made up a couple of them and sent me pictures, and so I should probably get those in about a week.
Yeah.
So those will be new things that'll be up on the website
Yeah.
too.
I think once we get everything, backpacks, everything, that's when we'll put everything up on the group page.
Yeah.
Or not the group page, the website. So.
Correcto.
But yeah, if you want to join the group page, everything like that, want to go to an event, it's HauntedSoulzParanormal.com. So Souls with the Z.
That's right.
But yeah, thank you everybody for listening, and hope everyone had a great Halloween. Hope everyone had a good day and had a good night. And yeah.
Yep. See you guys next week. Stay spooky.